Charles Rath was a well-known frontier trader, merchant, and buyer of buffalo hides who rose to prominence in the Kansas Plains and Texas Panhandle. He also had a family connection to professional baseball. Born in 1836 near Stuttgart, Württemberg, Germany, Rath immigrated to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania with his family when he was 11 years old. Shortly thereafter, the family relocated to a farm near Sweetwine, Ohio. Around 1853, Charles Rath headed west and joined William Bent's trading network in Colorado. He worked as an independent freighter, transporting supplies and trading goods throughout Kansas. In 1854, his older brother Chris joined him. 4 years later, they built a grist mill on Mill Creek near what is now Alma, Kansas. Unfortunately, shortly after its completion, a flood washed the mill away. Persevering through setbacks, the Rath brothers continued their trading and freighting operations and established a ranch and stage station along the military road between Fort Hays and Fort Riley, near present-day Ellenwood, Kansas. Charles Rath took over George Peacock's trade post on Walnut Creek, close to the modern-day Great Bend, in 1860, following Peacock's and 5 others' deaths at the hands of Satan-led Kiowa warriors. Rath also started running a sutler's store at nearby Fort Zara and was elected constable of Picatin County, later part of Marion County, in November 1860. Rath established commercial connections with a number of Native American tribes after relocating to the west, including the Kiowa, the Northern Comanche, and the Southern Cheyenne. He solidified these alliances by marrying a Cheyenne woman in 1860, with whom he had a daughter in 1861. In 1863, Charles Rath partnered with several men to construct a toll bridge across Walnut Creek. Around this time, tensions between Native Americans and white settlers were escalating. Despite Rath's efforts to maintain peaceful relations with the tribes, his Walnut Creek trading post was raided multiple times. For his safety, his Cheyenne wife persuaded him to divorce her. In the late 1860s, Rath and his hired teamsters transported freight for military posts along the Santa Fe Trail and for troops and government agencies in the Western Indian Territory, now Oklahoma. He also hunted game and buffalo for railroad workers in Kansas and began investing in Kansas real estate. In 1869, Charles Rath returned to his childhood home in Ohio, where he met and married Caroline Markley on April 26, 1870. In the end, the couple had 3 kids. They returned to Kansas after being married, spending a little time in Topeka before relocating to Osage City. Rath carried on with his freighting operations while establishing a commercial enterprise there. In the early 1870s, Rath was among the pioneers of the burgeoning buffalo hide trade. By September 1872, he had relocated to Dodge City, where he engaged in hunting, freighting, and marketing buffalo hides. He founded the Rath Mercantile Company, which at times had as many as 80,000 hides in its yard. When Ford County was officially established in 1873, Rath became one of its first 3 commissioners. As the buffalo population in Kansas dwindled, Charles Rath began hunting in the Texas Panhandle. Together with Robert M. Wright and James Langton, he planned to build a store and restaurant at Adobe Walls, near William Bent's former outpost. They nearly completed a 3-room sod building and stocked the store with goods. In May, Rath and his team returned to Dodge City, leaving 3 men and a woman to manage the store. While Rath was safely back in Dodge City, about 700 Comanche, Cheyenne, Kiowa, and Arapaho warriors attacked the post on June 27, 1874. In what became known as the Second Battle of Adobe Walls. In 1875, Charles Rath and Frankie Conrad established a branch store and hide yard at Fort Griffin as part of their ongoing business dealing in buffalo hides in Texas. He and Robert M. Wright collaborated to establish Hidetown, a trading post in Mobeetie, about the same period. The following year, Rath teamed up with William McDowell Lee and E. Reynolds to establish a trading post in Stonewall County, Texas, which soon became known as Rath City. By 1879, the buffalo were nearly extinct, ending the hide business. Rath then shifted to collecting and selling buffalo bones for fertilizer. Rath wed Caroline Markley at this time, and the couple's son, Robert Markley Rath, was born in October 1877. With the Buffalo business entirely gone, Charles Rath relocated from Rath City to Fort Supply in the Indian Territory. By the early 1880s, things were becoming worse for him. In 1885, he divorced his wife Caroline in Mobeetie and soon married Emma Nesper. They had a son, Morris Charles Rath, in December 1887. Emma left him in 1896, and he later sold his remaining assets and moved to Los Angeles, California, where his sister Louisa and her husband operated a dairy. During his final years, Rath suffered from asthma and died on July 30th, 1902. Charles Rath's daughter, from his first marriage, Cheyenne Bell, dedicated many years to serving her tribe as a teacher and interpreter. His son Robert, from his second marriage to Caroline, found success in the mercantile business in Kansas. Ida Ellen Rath, Robert's wife, founded the Dodge City Writers Guild in 1929 and released The Rath Trail, a biography of her father-in-law, in 1961.